Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and oh, aren't I glad I pre-recorded yesterday. Welcome to the Friday Night Rant. So yes, like a fool, I decided to pre-record the Friday Night Rant on Thursday evening because I go to the gyms on Friday night, so I was like, cool, it's done, I'm going to edit it and get that out on Friday, and then Microsoft drop all the information that I've been dying to know, obviously on Thursday night, so here I am recording it once again. And thanks to that, it now means the sponsor of my drink is actually just a cup of tea, because I did have a beer and I enjoyed it, but I did that on Thursday's video and I've obviously deleted that now, so yay, cup of tea. So I don't know if I'll be able to get all the information that I actually wanted in the Friday Night Rant, because I've obviously got limited time because I do need to go to the gym, but the major thing I want to talk about is obviously Microsoft. Now, as we know, there's been plenty of rumours and speculation simply saying it's connect on all the time, we need to be connected online all the time, and we cannot sell games. And Microsoft at last has actually given us some clarification, which I am absolutely thrilled with. So in no random order, just going through some of the things that actually been stated. So the first thing is the saying is once you put a game disc into your machine, it will actually add itself to your game cloud as such, and you will no longer need the disc. This then means that you can go to a friend's house and log in as yourself and have the entire access to your game library without actually taking any discs to the house. Now, I think this is absolutely brilliant. It's very rare I actually go to a friend's house and say, look what I've got, but I think the idea of not having to take a disc with me and just go to the house, sign in, just go play that for 5 minutes, see if you enjoy it, I think that's a great way of doing it. Next thing, which I think is really good, is if I do get the Xbox One, is I didn't think we'll probably be able to afford getting Joe one at the same time. So the idea is I'm probably going to have the Xbox One and she will sign in and occasionally play games. Now, she was saying, for instance, if a new Fable actually shown its face, would she be able to play it? And I was worried that it might lock to her account because she's the first one to play it and cause a lot of problems. But they've come out now and said if you've installed it, obviously, to the Xbox, anybody, no matter their relation to you, can sign into your Xbox and use whatever you've actually got on your hard drive, which I think is great because the amount of times that my niece actually comes up and she likes to just play my games, so I think it's great if she can just come up, sign into my Xbox One and play everything that I've actually purchased. And on top of that, which is actually going to be a massive deal breaker for a few people now, they're saying that you can trade in your games. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about the wording on this. In fact, I'll read it exactly what they've put. We've designed Xbox One so publishers can enable you to trade your games at participating retailers. Microsoft does not charge for a platform fee to retailers, publishers, or consumers for enabling transfer of these games. So what that actually really means then is the actual publisher will have to actually say, yes, we will allow second-hand markets on the games, which I think is absolutely fine because that means Microsoft are not enforcing it at the same time, where people are saying that Sony doesn't or does have this DRM, the thing still stands. So I can see Sony doing a very similar thing, saying it's not up to us, it's down to the actual developers, and obviously the developers can enforce that if they want. Now, I think this will actually work quite well. I think we're going to may have a few teething problems start off in the actual life of this console because a few people may be stupid enough to just go, right, we're going to enforce it straight away. And this will and won't work in some areas. Now, straight off the bat, I can say EA will definitely be enforcing this, but that is the thing I'm not bothered about whatsoever. Because the other day, I actually purchased Grid and I played about 10 hours or so of it and I went, you know what, I want to sell Grid 2. I'm not actually having any fun with this. And then went to put it online and realised I couldn't sell it for much money because I've already activated the online pass, which obviously annoyed me because it instantly devalued that product. But then I kind of looked onto my shelf and noticed that obviously the people that always mainly enforce the actual online pass is EA, and I've never really found myself selling any EA titles. So going from Mass Effect to Skates to Battlefields, these games are the ones I always buy brand new and never sell on. So if EA do enforce it so you cannot actually trade your second-hand games, it's not going to affect me one bit because I do buy my EA products brand new and can tend to keep them. But obviously the other flip of the coin is some people may enforce it when, to be fair, they shouldn't do. Now, let's take like Lollipop Chainsaw for instance. This is one of them games that I enjoy this game, but the point is if they enforce this so it couldn't be sold second hand, what you'll notice is straight away is when this actually gets put on the shelf at £40, a lot of people will not touch it, which will then drive its own price down to about 20 quid or so. So what will happen is developers and publishers will actually learn by enforcing this no second-hand trade market onto certain types of games will not work. And to be fair, I think a lot of them will actually know from the get-go that's not one of them games that should be doing it. So I think we're going to see people like Ubisoft, Codemasters and EA enforcing this. But it does mean that there is a lot of them games out there, which are them gem games that you tend to only pick up when they're quite cheap. And I should hope that they don't have this enforced. So I think it's great that Microsoft have kind of just gone, we're not enforcing it, it's down to the devs. Which is practically how we live anyway now. Now on top of this, they give you one other piece of information which doesn't affect me one bit really. And what it is, in fact I'll just read it out. Give the game to your friends. Xbox One is designed for game publishers, can enable you to give your disc to your friends. There is no fees or charge on this. There's only 2 requirements. One, that the friend is actually been on your friends list for at least 30 days, and 2, it can only be given once. Now I think that's kind of good because, to be fair, I was expecting not be able to pass on games. So the thing is, if I completed Witcher 2, I could go to my friend and go, here's a copy of Witcher 2, you complete it yourself. But I won't lie, I never ever, I've only done it once, and that was Witcher 2, that's why I use it as the example. That's the only time in my lifetime of Xbox 360 I've ever borrowed a game. So borrowing games to friends doesn't affect me at all. It is a shame it's only locked to 1, but to be fair, I think that's good that there is one in there in the first place. At 1. And the thing which didn't affect me, but it annoyed the hell out of me, that it sounded like it was enforcing it, and now they've said no, the Kinect can be turned off, which I think is absolutely great. They've said when you're actually using it, you can either obviously have it working, it can be in a paused state, and it can actually be turned off completely. They then went on to say obviously some features of the Xbox that use the Kinect won't be working, which kind of makes sense. It's like playing a Kinect dance game without a Kinect and saying why isn't it working. That makes sense that certain elements that need the Kinect won't work without a Kinect. But the point stands, you can be turned off, which is absolutely awesome. So on top of all that, they've also now confirmed that yes, your Xbox One will need to connect to the Xbox Live servers every 24 hours so you can access your games. Now I can understand why this is, I spoke about it in the past, it's simply so obviously to check every 24 hours you are still the owner of that game, because if you've sold it on, that simply means that obviously it needs to be deactivated on your console so that other person can activate it. Well, I was going to say every 24 hours is going to be a pain, but for me it's not an issue at all. There may be that blue moon when your internet goes out for a certain amount of time, which obviously would then stop your console from working. But to be fair, I've never had more than a 24-hour outage. I've probably had about 2-3 hours tops. But obviously it may affect people in some areas where they have bad internet connection. But to be fair, I could always assume that you still will be able to get a connection within the 24 hours. So it sadly just leaves the people that don't have any internet connection at all. And I do think that's bad. It does obviously enforce that them people cannot enjoy an Xbox One, which is a sad thing and quite annoying for those people. But the other cool thing, which I actually think is very good, is if it means now I can actually sell my second-hand games, what I can simply do is I will play a game, and then if I don't enjoy it, I can put it on eBay. But the best thing is when I put the disc in that envelope and I put it into a box and it's going to take maybe a day or 2 to get to that person, obviously they've not activated it. So therefore I can actually continue to play it on my Xbox all the way up until they put it into their console. And even then I'll probably be able to enjoy it for another 24 hours until the actual forced connection comes in and then renders my copy useless. So I think it's really cool that I can actually just ship off a game and continue playing it. So, in a nutshell, yes, we can sell games, it's down to the publishers, Kinect can be turned off, but yes, you will need to connect every 24 hours, which personally I am happy with. I would obviously like the idea of not have to be connecting every 24 hours, doesn't affect me the slightest, but obviously it will affect some people. So staying on a bit of Microsoft news, obviously E3 is around the corner, and what it looks like is somebody who was actually working at the expo has taken a sneaky little photo and uploaded what appears to be some of Microsoft's exclusive titles. Now you can just chuck this in the rumour category at the moment, even though I've had a good look at this image and it does look legit and kind of makes sense. So if this image is true, then we are potentially looking at Forza 5, well, we know that's coming anyway. Quantum Break, again, we know that's coming. Banjo-Kazooie, which I think is actually a great move because I was worried that it was going to be aimed at a lot of FPSs and just car games at the start, and I wanted to make sure that there was some other games in there, especially for Joe to actually start playing. Dead Rising 3, which I don't actually have an opinion on. I've got Dead Rising 2, which has just come through the other day. I've yet to play this game, so I cannot form an opinion on that, but the idea of a zombie game from the get-go, pretty good. Fable 4, which I am actually excited about because I actually had Fable 2 as my first game I ever purchased for the Xbox 360, and I think it's going to be a great homage to just the entire console thing if I buy an Xbox One and get a Fable 4 that goes with it. We won't speak of Fable Journey, I haven't even looked at that crock of shit. but I'm excited to see exactly what next gen Fable will look like. And on top of it, Fable 1 has just been remastered and looks absolutely glorious. And moving on, the next 2 games on top of that is 2 Halo titles, which appear to be Halo 5 and also Halo Spartan Assault. And to just finish off the entire Microsoft section, the rumour at the moment is that Mirror's Edge 2 is a Microsoft exclusive. Now again, stick that in the rumour category until we actually get EA or Microsoft come onto the stage and actually talk about that product. I will not take that as fact. So, let's talk about something that did disappoint me this week. Deus Ex. Now, I cannot understand, like, Deus Ex Human Revolution is one of them games I absolutely love, and then when the idea of Deus Ex The Fall kind of teased itself this week, got me super excited because I thought, brilliant, we've got E3 around the corner, we've got next gen just coming up, and then Deus Ex turns around and says they've got a new game, which made me super excited. Could it be for next gen? Is it going to be something to keep me tidied over until I buy the next consoles? And I was very happy, man, and just wanted more information. Until they then turn around and says, ta-da, it's a f***ing iOS game. Now, I don't even know what to say about that. That just annoyed the shit out of me. Now, I can see that being ported over to Android at one point, but the point stands, I'm starting to enjoy tablet gaming a lot more now. I've just brought a Nexus 10 and I'm absolutely loving the games that I'm playing on there. But like f***, I want to play Deus Ex on my tablet. I want to play it on the console where it belongs. So absolutely gutted they've gone with the tablet idea. And I can't understand why they thought that was a good idea. They should have kind of just gone, look, we've got a new mobile/tablet game on the horizon, instead of getting our hopes up, because that trailer made us just go, yes, next gen Deus Ex. Followed by, whoa, oh, spilt me tea. Well done, Deus Ex. You're gonna be so angry. I've got a bit of Twinings on the floor now, and it's not Twinings, it's actually some carrot tea. I said Twinings to make myself sound really sophisticated, but I'm lacking sophistication with that all over the floor. So with that information out of the way, I do have a lot more stuff I'd love to actually go on and talk about, but like I say, obviously I normally film on a Thursday. Sadly, I've had to film this pretty much before I upload it, so I need to edit it, upload it, and then quickly get out of the house, so I haven't got enough time to talk about everything. So I'm going to leave you with the question of the week, which is, a lot of people are obviously making their mind up on this DRM thing, which console they're going to pick. A lot of people are going to do it actually on what games come out, but there is a handful of people that have actually said they will not make an opinion at all until they get hands on and actually feel the consoles. So my question of the week is not what console are you picking, but what is the thing that decided for you? Is it the games lineup, the way it actually operates, or none of the above? You will not form an opinion until you actually get it in your hands and see what it feels like for yourself. So that's me done and dusted, guys. I'm going to quickly edit this as fast as I can, upload it, run to the gym and die death in this heat, and then play some State of Decay, because I have actually downloaded it. It broke me. I looked at some of the stuff on the internet and I went, it does look good, and I've tried it. And I have to say, it's not an absolutely polished game. There is a few little glitches in there, but by God am I enjoying it. So that's me done and dusted, guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and I do apologise for this smaller than normal Friday Night Rant. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Bye.